Batra Daf Kuf Chav Vav top line. Marav Huna Marav Ase Bechor Shemicha Micha. Firstborn, right? We said earlier that the firstborn does not get double portion and benefits made after uh to the property after to the land they invested the money. If he vetoed that, if he said I don't want you to invest it and they did it, he gets double portion in the benefits. Maraba Mistabet Hamad Rebasim Misbanim said that only makes sense according to the place where they own grapes and they cut them. The team must come if they harvested olives. But if they press them, they squeeze them, he doesn't take double portion. But the rest of Maraba says even if he did press it. Mar says, what do you mean? You get double portion if you pressed it. Originally they were grapes, now they're wine or olives and oil. So they acquired it, they increased it. They shouldn't get that because the answer is no. Because when it says he's getting the profit, the portion, he's not getting profit of the sale of the new stuff, but rather he's getting paid the damage. They destroyed his grapes, they destroyed his olives. Where do we say this elsewhere? We said it elsewhere. A case of a firstborn son and a regular son who were left trapped by their father. The second son harvested it. Zatim was the kumari olives, and he harvested them. The first one, the little portion, even if he squeezed it. Now, same thing. The rachum, what do you mean he gives the little portion if he squeezes it? And if it was really grapes, now it's wine. He's getting compensated for the damage to the grapes. Okay. Marabai said the firstborn son decided to take a equal share to this regular son. So instead of, let's say, two sons, it should have been two portions and one portion, 66% and 33%. Guy says, you know what, I'm gonna take regular, 50%. Once he does that in one of the fields, he is forgiving all of it in all of his properties. My vitae is meaning. Sorry, we're going to explain it now. Sounds like according to Rav Papa, only in that field, but he can collect elsewhere. He gets single portion in all the fields. He has officially released his ability to collect double portion. Papa according to Papa said that it's only that field because Rabbi holds that the firstborn son does not have any legal rights before they split it. And therefore, that he's able to waive one portion at a time. And therefore, he doesn't lose everything if he waives one thing. He holds that everything gets given to him at the same time. And therefore, if he waives his ability, his extra portion in that field, he's waiving it in everything at the same time. We have this machloket elsewhere straight out. Rather, we learned it from, sorry, it was not mentioned it straight out. Rather, we learned it we inferred it from a different halacha by Rava. How? There was a firstborn who went, and before they split the property, he sold his share in the property and the share of the regular son's property to someone else. Then that second son died. And he never said that you're able to sell it. The orphans of that second son went to go eat dates of their grandfather's property through their father. And the buyers were there. And the buyers hit the orphans saying, get out of here, we bought it. The relatives of the orphans went to the buyers and said, it's not enough that you bought their property without their father's permission. You can hit them now also. What are you doing? They came before the firstborn son did not accomplish anything through selling, and therefore, Rapapi held that when he says that you didn't accomplish anything, it means you didn't accomplish anything by selling your own half, meaning the extra portion sale went through, but the regular guy's sale did not go through, and therefore we see from the Rava that the firstborn does have a right in the extra portion before you split it. Well, more so, Papa held that no. When he says you accomplish nothing, means anything, and therefore the firstborn son does not have any rights to the extra portion before you start splitting it. The firstborn son has sold his portion before they split the property. Lo asakum doesn't accomplish anything. Alma we see from there. In lo we see from there the firstborn son does not have rights before they split it. The halacha is that you do have firstborn rights. The firstborn does have rights to the property before splitting. Marzutra from Rishpa, who was the firstborn, he divided a basket of peppers equally with his brothers. This basket of peppers from their father. and he split it equally. He didn't take his little portion, and now he wanted to split the other stuff, and he wanted the little portion of other stuff. Like we said, sorry, you waived your rights on one thing, you waived rights on everything. You are now getting single portion on everything. Ouch. New Mishnah. Haomer. Someone says, Ish ploni bini bechor lo yital pishnaim. My firstborn son, Reuben, should not take the whole portion. Ish ploni bini lo yirashi mechav. My other son should not take any inheritance. Lo amar klum. It does not work. They inherit as regular. Because they made a condition against what the Torah says. And the Torah says they're supposed to get it, and therefore he went against it. However, if someone's orally, verbally distributing his properties as a gift before he passes away, he can increase or decrease. He can even take away the extra portion of the firstborn and say they should divide it equally. That works because that's a gift. That's not an inheritance. But if he said that it should be given as a Yerusha, as inheritance, Lomar Klum doesn't work. Again, because inheritance is going against what the Torah says regarding inheritance. Ketav ben batchila, ben ba'emtza, ben basof, mishum matana. If he's writing inheritance and he writes the word gift at any point, the beginning, middle, or end, the Rav Kayamim, it goes through because he's now officially sending it as a gift, and therefore it goes through even if it's against quote unquote what Torah says regarding double portion or single portions. Now, maybe our Mishnah goes against the Bidah. He holds that regarding monetary matters that it goes against the Torah, it works. So if you make a monetary condition that goes against what the Torah says, it works. Tana Berta says, someone tells a woman, you're married to me, alminat, on condition. You can't force me to give you food, clothing, or relations, which is a man's chayab for all three. That woman is married and the condition falls apart. He has to still, according to Meir, he has to still give everything. Rabbi Yehuda says, regarding money, the condition goes through. He's still chayab for the other two, but he's patur on the money, even though he made a condition against Surah. Seemingly, Vida holds that money should work, and the father should be able to make a condition as whatever he wants regarding inheritance. Ramah says no, it's different. But even if Vida would agree in the case of money, in the case of the woman, she's able to accept that condition and able to waive it. But in the case of inheritance, the son that's being kished, the son that's losing his property, is not waiving his right, and therefore, since it goes against the condition of the Torah, and it's not being mochel, and it's not being waived, the condition does not go through. Amar says, Amar ish ploni bini bechorihu. If someone says, this guy is my firstborn son, the son takes a portion, because the father says so. Ish plani bechorhu. If he says son so and so is my firstborn, he does not take the portion. Maybe he's saying he's the firstborn of the mother. That does not take the portion. He has to say my firstborn son. How would the This guy who came to the Rabbi Chana, Amarle said to the rabbi, I'm convinced that this guy is the firstborn of his father. Amarle, how do you know? Because the father used to call him the foolish firstborn. But that's not a good proof because Dilma Bukhra de Imahu, maybe he's calling him the firstborn foolish because he's the firstborn of the mother, not the father. Because sometimes the firstborn also called firstborn son, and therefore it's not a good proof. He said, I'm convinced that so and so was the firstborn of his father. He says to him, when people would come to the father with eye problems, you tell them, go to my son Shikhat, the Bukhra, who he's a firstborn son, and his saliva can heal. Apparently, the Pinei Shlomo says the firstborn son of the saliva of a firstborn son can be used as a medicine to cure eye problems. Anybody wants to try it as a science experiment, you'll get 1 point in the test. Any volunteers, let me know. Maybe he's the firstborn son of the mother, and therefore he should not get the abortion. Maybe the firstborn son's saliva also works. The Gemara says, no, we have a condition, we have a tradition. Only the firstborn son of the father's saliva heals, but not the firstborn son of the mother. Tumtum, all right, famous two interesting halachot. Tumtum and Drogonus. Right now we're talking about Tumtum. We'll bring down the other one soon. Tumtum is a child that's born and the genitalia is inside the body. It has not come out and it's being covered by skin. So let's say this child grew up without knowing what gender it is, and all of a sudden the that skin opened, it was torn, and now he found out to be a male. Eno Tavish does not take the portion of the father. Amar Krab Pasuk says, the firstborn son is Ben He has to be a firstborn son from the beginning. They have to know that he's a firstborn son, and therefore, if he found out afterward, it does not count. All right, so I guess nowadays with the identifications identify as does not work either. Nachman Bar Yitzchak Amar Af Eno Nidon B'Kiven Zmer. He also doesn't have Lacha Ben Surah Mered, the son that puts death because he's rebellious. That Makrab says Ki Ish Ben Surah has to be a rebellious son from the beginning. Achi Ben Mishat Havia from birth. Amar says Af Eno Met Chel B'Cholad. The student does not get the firstborn portion. Shnamar Pasuk says Biadu Lo Shvarim. He has sons. Achi Ben Mishat Havia has to be a son from the beginning. Rav Shizbi Amar Rav Shizbi Af Eno Nimel B'Shmai does not get the 8th day Brit Milah. Let's say he's on the 8th day, it's Shabbat, and the skin tears, and now he's a boy. Let's do Brit Milah, Mabruk, Eliyahu, right? No, you don't Mechal Shabbat. Amakra. Isha Kitaziyal Zeta Zachar Bayemesh Bini Himol. Achi Zachar Mishvil has to be a boy from the beginning in order to be Mechal Shabbat. Rav Shiravi Amar. Af Eno Inimo Tameh. The mother does not become Tameh for him. Amakra Pasus Isha Kitaziyal Zachar V'Tamad Shvatmin. For a boy that becomes tameh 7 days, Achi Zachar Mishal has to be a boy from the beginning, and therefore she will not become tameh. But nowadays that we have Hachamim, we're they're tameh regardless because of the release of blood. What's up here?